Do you think they won't let us out if we ask? Said Joel. And nobody said, but everyone thought, supposing they don't. It was not a pleasant idea. Puddlecombe was dead against any idea of telling the giants their real business and simply asking to be let out. And of course the children couldn't tell without his permission because they had promised. And all three felt pretty sure that there would be no chance of escaping from the castle by night. Once they were in their rooms with the door shut, they would be prisoners till morning. They might, of course, ask to have their doors left open, but that would rouse suspicions. Our only chance, said Scrub, is to try to sneak away by daylight. Mightn't there be an hour in the afternoon when all of the giants are asleep? And if we could steal down into the kitchen, mightn't there be a back door open? It's hardly what I call a chance, said the Marsh Wiggle, but it's a chance we're likely to get. As a matter of fact, Scrub's plan was not quite so hopeless as you might think. If you want to get out of a house without being seen, the middle of the afternoon is in some ways a better time to try it than the middle of the night. Doors and windows are most likely to be open, and if you are caught, you can always pretend you weren't meaning to go far and had no particular plans. It's very hard to make either giants or grown-ups believe this if you're found climbing out of a bedroom window at 1 o'clock in the morning. We mustn't put them off their guard, though, said Scrub. We must pretend we love being here and are longing for this autumn feast. That's tomorrow night, said Puddlegum. I heard one of them say so. I see, said Jill. We must pretend to be awfully excited about it and keep on asking questions. They think we're absolute infants anyway, which will make it easier. Gay, said Puddlegum with a deep sigh. That's what we've got to be. Gay. As if we hadn't a care in the world. Frolic home. You two youngsters haven't always got very high spirits, I've noticed. You must watch me and do as I do. I'll be gay. Like this. And he assumed a ghastly grin. And frolicsome. He cut a most mouthful caper. You'll soon get into it, if you keep your eyes on me. They think I'm a funny fellow already, you see. I dare say you two ought I was a trifle tipsy last night, but I do assure you it was. Well, most of it was put on. I had an idea it would come in useful somehow. The children, when they talked over their adventures afterwards, could never feel sure whether this last statement was quite strictly true, but they were sure that Puddlegum thought it was true when he made it. All right, gay is the word, said Scrub. Now if we could only get someone to open this door. While we're fooling about him being gay, we've got to find out all we can about this castle. Luckily, that very moment the door opened and the giant nurse bustled in saying, Now, my poppets, like to come and see the king and all the court setting out on the hunting. Such a pretty sight. They lost no time in rushing past her and climbing down the first staircase they came to. The noise of hounds and horns and giant voices came too. The noise of the horns and giant voices guided them, so that in a few minutes they reached the courtyard. The giants were all on foot, and there were no giant horses in that part of the world, and the giants' hunting is done on foot, like beagling in England. The hounds were also of normal size. When Jill saw that there were no horses, she was at first dreadfully disappointed, for she felt sure that the great fat queen would never go after hounds on foot, and it would never do to have her about the house all day. But then she saw that the queen had a kind of litter supported on the shoulders of 6 young giants. The silly old creature was all got up in green and had a horn at her side. 20 or 30 giants, including the king, were assembled, ready for the sport, all talking and laughing, fit to deafen you. And down below, nearer Jill's level, there were wagging tails and barking and slobbery mouths and noses of dogs thrust into your hand. Puddlegum was just beginning to strike what he thought a gay and gamesome attitude, which might have spoiled everything if it had been noticed, when Jill put on her most attractively childish smile, rushed across to the queen's litter, and shouted up to the queen, Oh, please, you're not going away, are you? You will come back? Yes, my dear, said the queen. I'll be back tonight. Oh, good. How lovely, said Jill. And we may come to the feast tomorrow night, mayn't we? We're so longing for tomorrow night, and we do love being here. And while you're out, may we run over the whole castle and see everything, mayn't we? Do say yes. And the queen did say yes, but the laughter of all the courtiers nearly drowned her voice.